Hey guys, back again with yet another tips and tricks video. This one will help you not only have fun in the game, but just like be happy. You know what I mean? So tip number one, we're gonna start off. I don't need to number these, but I can. Tip number one: use the awesome sink in shop liberally. Like it will help you to just have like a storage container feeding into this awesome sink, and just shove whatever the hell you got in there. I have a bunch of circuit boards. You want to see a bunch of circuit boards go in there? We're going to shove a bunch of circuit boards go in there. It gets you a little bit of coupons. You know, you can take your coupons, you take your coupons and you go into the awesome shop. Awesome shop. Look at how many things we bought. Look at it. Look at how many. We've used all of these things. Well, not all of them. But like all of these, we've used these, we've used these, we've used these, we've used these, all of them. All the walls, all the architecture we bought all of it. Not just for completionists, but because it's cool. Look at this Fix-It factory cart. Cyber wagon, you want to know how to get it? Not telling you. I'm just kidding, I'll tell you. You put a ticket back into the sink. That's how you get it. Boombox is pretty cool to annoy your friends, especially with this one right here. Goat Storm. Don't tell them I told you that. You can get these if you really want. My point is, use it. It's cool, and you can buy really cheap stuff, honestly. Like, it's so worth it to have this stuff, right? Like, some of it is a little silly, like the boombox and the other stuff, but it will just help you so much. Do it. Use it. And once you get those walls and roofs and everything, it levels up your building skill. Like, my building skill over here, like, look at this. This is all stuff bought with the Fix-It store. Well, not the basic walls, obviously, but most of it is bought from the Fix-It store to make this what is essentially a hotel. That's super cool in my opinion, and it makes my builds look cooler, and I hope it makes your builds look cooler too. Tip number two, ambition. Have ambition when you're building factories, because, I mean, not every factory is gonna be the best. Like, these ones kind of suck, but these were ambitious back then. Like, back when we were making plates and rods and stuff, these were ambitious factories. These were some pretty big factories. And looking back on them, they're crazy. Like, these are great factories, right? They produce what they need to. And, like, I mean, they don't necessarily look good, but that's good. If you finish an ambitious factory, if you finish any factory, you get a reward. But if you finish those ambitious factories, that would be a very big reward. Now I'm gonna take you to a little more ambitious factory that I have made, and I'll see you when I get there. So this building we're coming up on is one of my more ambitious factories at the time. This one was a relatively recent one, but this was the heavy modular frame factory. If you watch my stream, this was a massive factory to make. It took me 3 hours, which it shouldn't have. It's not. Like, okay, now I have the hover pack. It does not seem that big, right? But back then, like, each of these is one foundation. That was crazy. I've jam-packed everything close. There's nothing clipping. It's all perfectly efficient, if not more efficient than what it needs to be. So, essentially, this is a very ambitious factory, and I cannot tell you the reward I felt when I finished this. I was like, oh my god. Also, there is stuff clipping, but courtesy of Jacob, because he loves to do the spider web technique, which, I mean, obviously, when you have a factory this big, it kind of makes sense. It just depends on the person. So yeah, ambitious factories, they'll give you rewards. This one gave me a massive reward. And it just felt so good to make this. And on another note, work backwards when you're making a factory. Like, to start off this factory, you know how much math went into this? It was a crazy amount of math. Like, heavy modular frames are weird, right? You go here, they make 2 a minute, and they require 10, 30, 10, 200. Like, a lot of these are underclocked, actually, because... Well, I mean, I'm too lazy to overclock them. Let's look at one of these. One of these has to be underclocked, right? No, it's not. Okay. So, we look at, like, some of these are underclocked. But my point is, like, it's just, like, it's a lot of math, right? Modular frames, reinforced plates, and rods. Steel pipes are coal and iron. Encased industrial beams, I couldn't even name half this crap. But it all went into making this. It all got transported. And if it helps, use a notebook. Or you can use Satisfactory tools. I'll link it in the description. I'll tell you which one's Satisfactory tools. Super helpful. It does the flowcharts for you. It puts down what you need to make, how many you need to make. It's so nice. And figuring out all the math can be super hard, so use Satisfactory tools. It will help you 100% use it. Or, I guess if you're new, I would actually recommend doing the math yourself, just to get a feel for it. Just to get a feel for making those bigger factories so that you can just do that math on the fly and just know that, hey, this makes 30 per minute, so I need blank amount of these, instead of just having Satisfactory tools do it for you. Eventually you would figure it out, but I wouldn't let Satisfactory tools do most of the work for you until you get to this kind of stage where you have to do this stuff. I built this in a notebook. I actually wrote down this massive chart. Everything's abbreviated. All the numbers are there. And it took me 2 hours, like 2 years ago. And I just have it cached, right? Like, I can just pull it up whenever. I don't need internet. I mean, that's not a concern, obviously, because you're playing the game on the internet. But you get what I mean. And yeah, that's really nice. It's super nice to just have that tool, but also just to have that notebook filled with stuff. Another thing, when you're playing Satisfactory, set a goal. Like, there's always a goal, right? You look in the top right of my screen, you see objective, complete phase 4, or you would see a milestone right around right here. Or if you're in the onboarding process, you'd see those hub upgrades, right? You'd see those hub upgrades, you'd see those tiers, you'd see those milestones, blah, blah, blah. And the milestones are there to guide you, but also to control you. Like, I guess a way of wording it would be the milestones give you a goal if you don't have one. But if you do have a goal, they make sure that you're still focusing on the important goal. And milestones are very important, obviously, because they make you progress in the game, and new things are fun. They're not only fun, but they're like, I mean, they're new. Everything new is fun, right? You get a new PC, you're like, wow, that's crazy. You get a new scooter, you're like, wow, that's crazy. My shins hurt now. And just stuff like that, right? So just set a goal constantly. Do those milestones. And the reason why I have setting a goal constantly is because don't just play mindlessly. Don't just be like wandering around with no equipment because A, it's slow. B, it's not fun. Like, I could just be wandering around with a rifle all day, and yeah, I would see the world, but there's no set goal. Eventually, it would get super boring, and I just wouldn't want to do it anymore. So I just set myself a goal, like, I have to build this factory, or, like, for example, I had nothing to do besides, like, phase 3, I think, when I built my ammo factory, or when I planned to build it, and then I procrastinated. I built my ammo factory, though, and, like, it was just, that was a goal, right? It was a goal because I didn't want to do the main goal, so I just set a casual side goal for myself, and it worked out so well. So use side goals. If you don't like what Satisfactory is offering you, make something cool. Make a massive factory. Make yourself a house. I don't know. Make anything. This is like Minecraft. You can make pretty much anything, except it looks cooler than Minecraft, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. Also, make factories of increasing size. Don't just, like, make a bunch of tiny factories, right? Like, I started off with plates factories. Plates factories are probably maybe, like, this big. I could probably fit it this big if I really wanted to. That's a plates factory, right? That's really small. And obviously, this is much bigger. So build your factories of increasing size. They will naturally be increasing in size and complexity. But if they aren't, then just make them more complex. Make them bigger. Like, increase the amount of output that they have to challenge yourself. It's really fun. Alternatively to all those methods I just described, you can use the MAM, the molecular analysis machine. This bad boy has a bunch of things you can do. You can just plug in resources all the time. I haven't even completed this. I've completed this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and, like, they took a long time to complete. Yeah, but, like, I mean, they gave me a lot of goals. You can tell I'm not even done with phase 4. Also, phase 4 is really hard. But, like, this is the only one I have left in this, and I only have 2 more. So I've been doing these as goals because I've gotten bored when maybe my other friends are doing other stuff. Or my friends are doing other stuff. Like, that's just something I like to do. Also, having that equipment there, like the Blade Runners, oh my god. The Blade Runners, the change is just crazy, dude. It's like, I don't know, it's from cloudy to sunny, you know what I mean? Like, I can see so much clearer. I actually, it doesn't affect my sight at all. I can run so much clearer when I've got Blade Runners on, and it just feels so much more satisfying. You get, like, I don't know, you can research the gas mask, or you can research the rifle, or you can research the zip line. Like, they're all very, very useful tools that will help you, and they're also, again, something new. Something new is much, much better than just something old, you know what I mean? People like new. New is good. Another thing, don't clip, guys, come on. Don't let your conveyor belts clip. My factory's nice and tidy. Jacob's and Caleb's, they don't care as long as it's efficient. As long as it's efficient, they could care less. But for me, clipping, like, I'm not about to redo this power system. Oh, thank you. But like the clipping, it was so bad originally. I was like, no, Jacob, why? And then I got over it, and then I was fine. But if you're a perfectionist like me, please save yourself the time, save yourself the pain. Don't make them clip. See how these ones are not clipping. Kidding me? Those ones are made by me. All these street lights that Jacob didn't wire, they probably wouldn't be clipping because I made it organized for him to not do that. It's not just power lines, it's not just conveyors. It's walls through floors, in my opinion. In my experience. Let's take a wall, just a basic wall. Let's put one right there, and then we take a foundation. Just a 1 meter. Then we put another wall on top of that. Or no, we don't even need to. Look at this. This is clipping. If you have a foundation and it ends right there, it's clipping, dude. And it's very, very annoying. What do I do to solve this is what would be my next question. Oh, wait. Here's a better example. Like this. This is the worst. It's so bad. You can see it through there. It clips a little bit, and it's just pain. How do I solve this, you may be asking? It's as simple as 3 basic walls, 1 meters. Now, do they have the pattern? No. Will you notice? Probably not. You'll notice that less than you'll notice the clipping. And it's also not clipping, so it's satisfying in the fact that you know that it's not clipping. Another thing that is a big issue with clipping is environmental things like trees, rocks, whatever. Because let's say I wanted to make a conveyor belt from here to here. Let's put a conveyor belt right here. And one right here, right? Game says, perfectly viable conveyor belt. I say, no. My solution to this would be like that. And then if this is too steep, right? So we go here, lift, boom. It's not fine. Hold up. Whatever. You can reposition this. You'll be fine. That's my solution to that. Don't make them clip through the environment, though. That's somehow worse than this power pole stuff. Like that, I will eliminate that if I see that in my world. 100%. All the time. If I see it, it's gone. Like, you're not... I can easily rewire it. It's so easy to change it. Do it. Another tip. We're still going. I got many. I have many. I learned. You guys like these videos. So I'm going to make you watch them. Upgrade your power system. When you need to. Like, okay. My, like, bar... So, you see... If you've ever looked at a power pole, which you definitely have. I know you guys aren't non-power pole lookers. So, look at your max consumption and your capacity. If your capacity is if your max consumption is 130% or more of your capacity, so 1 1/3 about, 133, whatever you want to say, 1 1/3 or above, upgrade your power grid. Like, I just recently upgraded it, so my capacity is way above my max consumption. But it used to be way, way below. Like, it used to be the production was like down here. It was not a lot. But another reason for that is eventually you'll make a warehouse, and that warehouse will have overflows probably. If you want overflows, if you can make them, do that, because you can just sync it and you get hella tickets. But other than that, like, you'll forever have resources factories building. When these factories back up, they don't use any power. Like, watch, ready? So what is our consumption before this? We're going about 6,300 megawatts. And there's a pretty large amount of variation, right? We're just going to watch a chain reaction happen when I take any amount of modular frames. So now this one's making, and then all these are going to kick in. They're all going to turn green or yellow, right? Yellow right now, they're not using power. As soon as they turn green, though, they use power. What does that mean? It means our power grid is going to jump the hell up. We went from 6,300, now we're at 6,800. And it's going to just keep going up from there, right? Because of the chain reaction, especially on these big factories. Those are going to kick in, and they're going to really hurt your power grid. So you want to... Your max consumption, you'll never hit your max consumption, by the way. You just want to have enough to actually... Just in case everything kicks in at once. There is that slim possibility. And if you have a warehouse, you have to be above it. There's no way. Because if you're shipping everything, everything's working all the time. And if you have overflow, even worse. If you have overflow, everything's going to be sorted all the time. All of the overflow is going to go into that awesome sink and just drain your power. So you need to be ahead of the game on that. What else? Use the zip line. I told you earlier, use it. Please. If you use it right, if you hold shift and forwards, I don't know if this is like a fallacy or something that I made up, but like, Caleb doesn't believe it. Caleb doesn't believe it. He doesn't think holding shift makes you go faster. Look, okay, ready? Holding W. This is max speed. Right? It's not going any faster. We can tell. Watch when I hold shift. Now, this is also going downhill, so let's try the same test course. Let's not just... Here's a better one. Watch. This also goes uphill, so it's okay. Watch, we're going to hold shift and forwards, and it's going to make us go way faster, I promise. We jump from line to line, and we get going pretty dang fast after a little while. That's already faster than what you saw before, which was... Hold up. God dang it. And you get the point. Use your zipline, please. It's in Caterium, in the MAM. I don't really want to spoil it for you, but you'll get them eventually. If you're watching this video, it's already spoiled. Sorry, by the way. Okay. What else? Build all the equipment. I mentioned earlier, Blade Runners. Get the Xenobasher, Chainsaw, Boombox if you really want to. Inhalers. All of it. Build all of it. Get the Rebar Gun, Novelist Detonator. All of it. All of it will be useful at some point. Novelist detonators can kill off those things in Update 8. If you're not in Update 8, it will not be able to destroy poison pillars. But if you are, it will. Super convenient. It will also be able to destroy this, like the poison flowers, the variant of that sort of thing, that activate when you're close or when an entity is close. It can destroy those. It can destroy the poison pillars in Update 8. And it's just a nice thing to have. The rebar gun, you can get explosive rebar for it, which is pretty cool. You can hurt your friends with the stun. You can just make them ragdoll, which is freaking hilarious. Rebar gun also does quite a bit of damage. The rifle doesn't do as much damage, but it's way more accurate in my opinion. And you don't, like, homing ammo. I mean, come on, it's in the name. It does more damage than normal rifle ammo. And it also homes towards enemies. What the? Oh, radiation train. But it just does, it's so good. What else? Learn how to crouch jump. This is your bonus tip for the video. You've probably seen me doing this everywhere. Just this movement where I crouch and then I jump. It's kind of simple. So when you're running inside, when you're walking, you crouch, you just like sneak essentially, right? You're like crabbing across the floor essentially. But when you run, you slide. Right? You slide a little bit of a distance. You cannot slide uphill if it's steep enough. There you go. Now you just crouch, right? Because you're going too slow. Now, if we can abuse this, you can't do this uphill, but you can do this downhill. You crouch, then jump right after. You, like, just press C and then press space right after, and you get it. Also, this is a great example of those nobelisks. I don't think I have any nobelisks on me. I don't. But this is like one of those situations where you can use a nobelisk. I think there's a purple power slug under this. Probably. But you just throw a nobelisk on there, run a little bit away, and it explodes, right? So that's a great example of how to use that. What else? Yeah, that crouch jump tip is just, I do it all the time. I've been doing it since since the beginning. You can do it since the onboarding process. You can do it, like, any point in the game. It makes your transportation, like, let's say I take off the Blade Runners. Like, even then, it's not slow. Like, compared to running. Like, look at this. Look at this. This is so slow. This is way faster, and you get, like, a little jump. And it varies up your game. It's a little more fun to just crouch jump everywhere. I do it literally unconsciously at this point. It is so fun to learn how to do it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you guys so much on the last video. 500 views as of right now. 30 views per hour when I was in school. That's crazy. That's actually wild. That not only did it got the amount of views that the rest of my channel got combined. Like, all the videos combined got that many views. And then take that up a little notch. Like, my total channel views are now 700 something. Or no, probably 800 now, I guess. 800 something. And 500 of that is that one video. Thank you guys so much. That helps my channel grow, obviously. And subscribers, it's +6 since last video. That's crazy. That's awesome. Thank you. As soon as we get to 500, I can start, like, doing super chats and stuff, which don't contribute to me, please. Spend your money on something else. But if you really wanted to, I guess, sure. I'll take your money. I'm just kidding. You can keep your money. Anyways. Yeah. Hopefully you have a good morning, evening, night, afternoon. Maybe even noon. Maybe you're watching this right at 12. I don't know. But have a good one. I forgot my outro, as per usual. At this point, that is the outro. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.